A new internet cafe had just been opened up next to Abbey Station. It was placed at the back of the yards, at the end of a siding out of the way. But one evening... Now that we're at the repair shop, driver, remember, listen to everything I say, or else. Alright. Good evening, mate, said a workman at the repair shop. Who are you? I've never seen you before. I'll tell you who I am later. Right now, I have some unfinished business I need to accomplish. So, paint me in a matte sheen, and then I'll be out of here. Whatever you say, mate. I'm ready now, man. Now I'm gonna go do some shit. Hey, what's going on here? Everyone move! There's a train about to f***ing plow into here! You're going now! We trained for this! Right! There's a reason I made you do this, because you have the perfect cover. James and Henry were watching from the station, but couldn't see anything in the dark. Who in the sweltering sheds of the ironworks was that? Asked James. That engine looks oddly familiar. I don't know, coughed Henry. We can't stop now. I have a train to take. I'll tell Sir Topham Hatt later. But Duck had seen the crash, and when daylight came, he rushed back to the sheds to inform Sir Topham Hatt. That morning, Sir Topham Hatt held an announcement. It has come to my attention that there was an intentional crash caused at Abbey Station, he boomed. I need 2 engines to help with the cleanup and investigation process. Donald and Douglas, would you 2 go up to Abbey and help? Aye, sir. Yes, sir, the twins said. I wonder who would be violent enough to cause a crash like that, murmured Donald as Sir Topham Hatt walked away. Probably I will Hugh, replied Douglas. Or maybe not, he's just annoying at worst. Sir Topham Hatt then went to see Thomas. Thomas, today I would like you to take some workmen up to Shen Valley. They're helping Harvey repair the rusty tracks right before Hallwyn Lake. Yes, sir, puffed Thomas. Thomas didn't know about the crash at Abbey yet, but he was in for a big surprise. He soon went to Knapford Station and picked up the workmen. After Thomas pulled into Abbey, he stopped and got a good look at the crash that had been caused. We're needed to stay and help clean up after the crash, said Donald, but we need someone else to go around the island to find out any potential culprits. Do you think you can do it? Added Douglas. Thomas thought for a moment. After I drop off these workmen up the line, I will. And no sooner had Bogo exited the siding with his debris from the crash, Thomas set off after him up the line. As he puffed up the line, he asked his driver to phone the Farquhar detectives to come and help with the case. Bob agreed, and soon Thomas dropped off the workmen at the rusty tracks. Thank you, Thomas, said Harvey. Soon traffic will continue up here. Just then, Mavis pulled up. Hello, Thomas, she said. I brought the Farquhar detectives, Dave and Matt, to you. I heard about that crash, and I'm impressed you're going to help investigate it. Thank you. But this is a very dangerous case you're investigating. Toby suggested I help you. Would you be okay if I joined you in investigating this? Of course, smiled Thomas. Since the line was closed, he and Mavis went back down to Abbey where the detectives checked the footage in the cafe. A few minutes later, the detectives came back to them. Would you happen to know anything about who this engine is? Asked Dave. That could be Billy, said Thomas, but I don't think he'd cause a life-threatening crash like that. Maybe it's an imposter. We've got some info now, said Matt. So this imposter of Billy, as we'll call him for now, is on the loose. Will you two help us catch him? Of course we'll help you, said Thomas and Mavis in unison. But before we go, we need a game plan, Thomas interrupted. Someone who knows our every move. So let's think for a moment. If we were running from authorities into the night after committing a crime like that, where would we go? Nice thinking, Detective Thomas, smiled Mavis. I would just take the easy way down the main line unless there were a lot of engines out. So let's just follow the main line for now. Thomas agreed and they set off. A little before Croven's Gate is a farm. The farmer was talking to one of his employees about the crash at Abbey and didn't see that the cows were breaking through a fence. They ran across the line after Gordon passed by, hoping to tip over a low loader, and succeeded. Thomas and Mavis pulled up and were shocked. Is that Charlie? He gasped. I thought he was in prison, replied Mavis. Dave and Matt ran a test and nodded. We found the culprit that matches the footage, said Dave. He escaped from the Vickerstown prison last month. Congratulations, you primitive sonar engines! Ha ha ha! Charlie laughed evilly. But it's gonna take a lot more than that to catch me. And he very quickly got back on the tracks and started speeding away, with Thomas and Mavis chasing after him. The cops meanwhile questioned Bulgy, who was towing Charlie around, but we'll find out what happened later. Thomas and Mavis soon arrived with Dave and Matt. The cops also came in and arrested Charlie while Wilbert came to take him away. Thank you very much for helping us solve another case here, Dave said to Thomas and Mavis. I'm proud that Matt and I get to keep working with you Farquhar engines. Thomas and Mavis were very pleased. So what happened with this freaky motherfucker? Wilbert asked as he stopped at a signal down the line. He somehow escaped the maximum security prison at Vickerstown, said a police officer who was riding with him. We'll recommend he gets sent to solitary confinement in London. Just then, Donald and Douglas came up, pulling Bulgy on a flatbed. Before you tell Dave and Matt what you told us, said Donald, tell Wilbert here what you said. After I got repainted into being a mobile vegetable stand once again, said Bulgy wearily. Charlie told me it would be the perfect cover and threatened to scrap me if I refused to join him, so that's why I towed him around. You got lucky, you fan service boss, said another cop. For now, we'll recommend you keep at work in some slightly less populated areas of the island. And many of the engines slept well that night, knowing they were safe from a major threat for a long time.